What is going on, everybody? It's Seth Rollins. We're here for a Monday Night Raw review for April the 18th, 2022. We are on our way to WrestleMania Backlash. And let's just face it, this show was a piece of shit. We had that garbage double wedding, main event with a predictable winner, a predictable outcome, and everything that's going on there. You had RK Bro vs. Street Profits, which ended in a shit way as well. Just nothing on this show. And then Sonya Deville, also, still an authority figure. Doesn't make any sense. You put yourself into a women's championship match. Not at Backlash, by the way. Not at Backlash. It'll be next week in Bianca's hometown. But still, why are you still an authority figure if you are getting a title shot? That's enough. Hopefully between now and between now and Backlash, or whenever, they go, well, sorry Sonya, you're done. You're no longer an authority figure. We can't have you doing this. You're abusing your power. We'll talk about that here in a bit. So, tonight's show started with Seth Rollins. He wanted to come out and talk about, oh yeah, and we also had Austin Theory, and I will call him Austin Theory because I want to feel like calling him Austin Theory because Theory is not a WrestleMania main event name. Theory is not a name you should be using as a wrestler on its own. Mr. Theory would have been one thing. Something else would have been another thing. But the fact that you want to go out there and call him just Theory is fucking stupid. Just like everything else this company does, which is fucking stupid. But anyway, here comes Seth Rollins. He says he's out here to party, but nobody should ever want to party alone. So he calls out his Backlash opponent, Mr. Cody Rhodes, who gets his big fucking entrance as usual. So WWE is running to the mill with that way too often. There is no fucking reason. I don't care what Cody wants. Cody should not be getting it. Like if he wants to get the pyro thing underneath the from the entranceway, because they don't want to build his stupid looking box, which that still looks fucking stupid. I think he looked back at that after the first week and is like, yeah, that was stupid. Let's do this instead. But he comes out, gets his pop, gets his thing, and it's like, you can just tell how less special this is becoming. He gets a big pop during the night. In the main event, that pop is not as big as it was before. Why continue to do stupid shit like that? I just don't understand why. Why would you do that? It just takes away from everything. So, comes to the ring, Rollins looks around and hits the ring, and the fans are chanting Cody, and he's like, don't stop on my accord. He asks Cody, how does it feel to be standing on top of the world? Rhodes says this all feels so familiar, and he and Rollins in this ring, in this city. For those who don't know the story, he would say Buffalo is Rhodes' country. Rhodes gone in and asks Rollins what he wants to talk about. Rollins says says there's been a lot of news behind since WrestleMania. Buffalo might be Rhodes' country, but this is all about respect. Fans chant for Cody to interrupt Rollins, and as he starts talking about how he called Cody out here and respects him, Cody plays to the crowd for another interruption. Rollins warns him, don't ever do that again. Rollins asks to speak with Rhodes and does it again. Rollins says he was going to tell Cody Cody of the respect he has for his family name, his brother, his father, his journey away, and how he came back as the American Nightmare. But the truth is, Rollins made Cody a star in one night. Cody tells Rollins to get to the point. Rollins says at WrestleMania, Cody had an unfair advantage. Says Cody came in as Vince McMahon's hand-picked opponent. Rollins didn't have an advantage, so he lost. Fans chant for Cody. Rollins says, that's a tough pill for him to swallow, but what's even worse is Cody, and some of these people think Cody is better than Rollins. Rollins can't live with that because the fact is he is better than Cody in every single way imaginable. He says Rhodes may be the flavor of the month, but he is not the future of this industry. Which, Rollins, you've been in WWE on the main roster for 10 years. You ain't the future either. You're the here and now. Rollins says Cody came back to win the WWE title, which is admirable. But Rollins has been to the mountaintop, and that makes him better than Cody Rhodes. Cody says Rollins has to be the mountaintop 4 times against his 0, but that doesn't change what happened at WrestleMania. Rhodes says he learned about meditation while working upper management while away from WWE. He asked he suggests they introduce a third party to this back and forth. Rhodes asks the fans if they think he is better than Rollins. Some fans chant yes, but Cody is the clear winner. Rollins suggests Cody works the main event tonight against a surprise opponent handpicked by Rollins. Rhodes says that's a great idea. Rhodes also says Rollins and the fans already know the answer. He didn't come back to WWE to run from challenges, so absolutely yes. Rollins and Rhodes face off in the middle of the ring as Rhodes' music hits and Rollins makes his exit. Now, okay, this was not a bad opening. Felt fine. I will say this is a good idea, and it was smartly booked. Cody Rhodes came into WWE and returned, and apparently, according to Seth Rollins, he didn't actually know who his opponent was going to be. So, he's like, you know what? How about we do the same thing to Cody? Now, the difference is, if Rollins is actually telling the truth, is they probably had it on the whiteboard backstage, Cody Rhodes versus who his opponent was, but they want you to play it up as if that is exactly what happened. WWE Tag Team Championship match, Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley and Naomi. We'll talk about who the opponent was later on. Now, I had to miss this match. I had to run to the store for something that was needed. And I came back, and the match was over. Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley lose. Liv Morgan got taken out early on with a backstabber, apparently. This is what they said later on in the highlights. Leaving Rhea Ripley on her own. She ate the finish, and she took the pinfall, and that was that. After the match was over, I did see this. The champs stand tall. Liv and Rhea argue in the middle of the ring. Rhea turns to leave. Liv grabs her arm and keep talking. This angers Rhea. She lives her for failing. She failed this tag team. She failed this match. She needed Liv Morgan more than anything, and she was not there. Liv says, no, it's just calm down and relax. Relax. All of a sudden, as Liv Morgan is leaving, Rhea decks her from behind, beats the living shit out of her. To boos, Ripley hits the big riptide in the middle of the ring, and Rhea exit as the boos get louder, and there is your heel turn. We all saw it coming. It was supposed to happen last week, but protocol got in the way, and that is why it happened tonight. Right now, I will say this is good for Rhea Ripley. How good is it going to be? I do not know, and neither does anyone else. We have to sit back, wait, and watch, because who knows what WWE is going to do with this. Hopefully, it leads to good things for Rhea Ripley. And the rumor going around is she's going to join Edge and Damian Priest. That did not happen tonight, so who knows? And honestly, Rhea Ripley being turning heel and dropping more dead weight like she did Nikki. Like Nikki dropped her. She needed to drop Liv. She's tired of being on the losing end. This is a good thing. I hope something comes out of this good. We see what happens with Rhea Ripley. Well, Sonya Deville goes to the ring for mostly boos. We see how Rhea Ripley killed Liv Morgan. Sarah Travis stops Ripley backstage. And she's like, who thinks you or anyone else is entitled to a explanation? And she walks off. See what happens as this goes on. We get back to the ring, and Deville says she's heard chatter in the WWE about how she misused her power to get a title shot from Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair. Deville must remind him first and foremost, she's a performer. She was forced into this authority position so she could find her way back to being a WWE superstar. Did she make the most of her opportunity by leading those around her with a natural ability? Absolutely. And when she saw the opportunity, she took it. Says she knew when Belair won the title at WrestleMania 38 that Belair is who she wanted to be in the ring with, because Belair is not just the EST, she is the BEST, the best. She wants to win the title from the best and nothing less, which the fans with multiple what chants, they did not want to hear from her whatsoever. But the bottom line is Belair wanted a challenger and Deville gave her one. She said it's nothing personal, just business. So if anyone has a problem, out comes Bianca Belair. Deville orders the music to be cut. She knows Belair is excited about her title match, but reminds her she'll be disciplined for assaulting a WWE official because she has the official suit on. Belair wants to have the match tonight. She says Deville knocks Buffalo and says she didn't wait this long for her title shot, only to have it in a rusted alt suburb of New York City. She says, well, you know what? Here's an idea. We can have the match next week in your hometown. So when you lose, you have your friends and family there to console you because they're used to seeing you lose titles in quick succession. He's taunting Belair. Belair picks her up, goes for the KOD, holding on her shoulders. The Veil screams and says, "Put me down, or I'm going to have you suspended and stripped of that championship." She throws her down, and she leaves as the Veil is shocked in the middle of the ring. I'm over the whole thing. If you're going to wrestle in the middle of the ring, the Veil needs to be removed from power as an authority figure. There is no reason for her to be in the authority figure. There was absolutely no reason to be an authority figure before. It was just a lame way for them to bring her back. Adam Pearce needs to come out next week and be like, the Veil, you were stripped of your authority powers. You are now just an active member of the WWE main roster. Veer Mahaan versus Jeff Brooks. Fun fact, I didn't know this about Veer Mahaan, but there's a movie called The $1 Million Arm. Never heard of it before. Apparently, Veer Mahaan was a pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Someone posted a picture on YouTube comparing what he used to look like and what he looks like now. So, when they call his clothesline the $1 Million Arm, that is a take on the story that the movie that was based off of his life, which was a $1 Million Arm challenge or something, he won and became a pitcher for the Pirates. Only made it to single A or something. But yeah, so there's a fun fact there. Didn't have the big gruffy beard he has now. He looked way different back when that happened. But he killed this guy, and there's nothing else you can say about it. He applies a cervical clutch, quick submission, and that is that. Does it 2 more times. Jamie Noble and Daivari, not Arya, his brother, Sean Daivari, try their best to take him off of him, but he finally breaks and he exits the ring. Backstage, Sonya Deville confronts Adam Pearce backstage, and she wants to know about the repercussions for Bianca Belair now facing after what just happened. Pearce said Deville needs to worry about her own repercussions as higher-ups are looking into her own conduct. Deville says, "What are you talking about? I've done everything by the book since I've been an authority figure." Deville says this makes no sense about being looked into. Not Belair's. Pearce says she's already handled Belair's fine, but he won't say how much it's for. Belair interrupts and Deville tells her to leave because they're handling official business. Belair says she's here to pay her fine. She says Deville tells her to send the wire to WWE HQ, but Belair pulls out $1 bill. Hands it to Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce says, "I hope you learned your lesson." She says she sure did. A whole $1's worth. And she walks off. Which I like. I popped so much for that, because that was probably the funniest part of the night. Oh yeah, she's been fined $1. Ville's like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And I'm being accused of abusing my power? What the hell was that?" He says he did everything by the book. And walks off. We get to the ring for a KO show. Kevin Owens makes his way out. He smiles as the enhancement tower is being pushed away on a stretcher, back from break. And we get a replay of Veer destroying Jeff Brooks. We see footage of Brooks being stretched away into an ambulance. We get back to the ring, and then we see Kevin Owens show. Chad Gable is going to be administering the lie detector test, and I went and took a piss because I didn't give a fuck about this. I didn't know, did not care. Of course, it was whatever. Don't care. So we had Chad Gable versus Ezekiel. This match lasted about maybe 3-4 minutes. Of course, everyone knows Chad Gable's great. Ezekiel, aka Elias, I'm still saying, I know exactly who fucking pitched this. I know exactly who pitched this. This is a Chris Park right here. This is WWE's take on Joseph Park / Abyss. That's exactly what this is. How they're going to expect to try and do this, where he's going to pretend to be Elias's younger brother. Are they gonna have someone make a fake beard so he can come out wearing this fake beard as Elias sometime? I don't see the end of this. What's the fucking point? We all know you're fucking Elias. Stop pretending like you're not Elias. And if you don't want him to be Elias anymore, stop saying he's Elias's younger brother. It's fucking stupid. DQ win for Ezekiel as Chad Gable was getting ready to tap him out. Otis attacked. Then clobbers Ezekiel for the fans to boo. After the match, Otis decks Zeke some more, then exits the ring with Gable as the music kicks. Zeke covers and looks on from the corner. Tag Team Championship, Tag Team Champions, the RK Bro versus the Street Profits. What can I say about this match? If you've seen one, you've seen them all. We've seen this match so many fucking times. I cannot wait till these tag team titles are absolutely unified. The only thing that you can talk about this is that like RK Bro was close to like zeroing in on a win here. Montez Ford starts waving for somebody to come from the back. The Usos music plays. This distracts and you see RK Bro have a case of dumb babyface syndrome. This allows Dawkins to them to take out Randy Orton. Them hit a double feet finisher. 1, 2, 3. The RK Bro get beat weeks before they take on the Usos. Why? After the match, the Profits stand tall and celebrate as we go to replays. The replay show the Profits wave the back for the Usos using the hit. After the replays, the Profits take the mic on stage. And they say, that was just a warning for you guys to let you know that the Usos are not the only tag team you need to worry about. It's the Street Profits. They're up and they want the smoke. More stuff between Damian Priest and Edge as they are sitting, and Edge is sitting on his throne in the backstage. Edge recalls how Priest played supporting act to Bad Bunny. If it weren't for Priest, Bad Bunny would have been smeared across the map, but Priest had no WrestleMania match this year. And Edge, he had to beg for a WrestleMania opponent this year. He fought for years to get back to where he is now, and it took the WWE Universe 2 years to start complaining about him. Motherfucker, we've been complaining since day one. I never wanted to see Edge come back. I didn't want to see another part-timer come back and take spots from other people who have been working their asses off to get those spots that, obviously, if Edge was to come back, was going to get. So people have been complaining about this since the moment it was teased that you were going to be making your return. Yeah, you're just that blind. Says they will pass judgment on anyone who stands in their way, and for now, only AJ has. He says he's finally decided not to care about what we think, and to take back what he never lost. He challenges AJ for a match at WrestleMania Backlash and says he will stab this point through his heart like a stake, and says they have finally decided to seize the day, and that's bad news for the rest of WWE. But for AJ, it means that this is his judgment day, and they laugh to exit the segment. We go backstage in the ring, and here comes Austin Theory for the next match for the United States Championship. In the back, Sarah Schreiber catches up with AJ Styles, asking about the WrestleMania Backlash match. He accepts the challenge, goes to address Edge, but the light starts flashing, it goes off. Sarah Schreiber exits already, and Priest and Edge show up. They beat up AJ Styles. They open a cupboard thing and smash AJ's shoulder into the door in between it with the door a couple of times. And King on commentary says that is a dislocated shoulder, if any, at least. We have the match here for Austin Theory versus Finn Balor, and this was a good match. Austin Theory is your new United States Champion, and he did it on his own. There was no shenanigans, no bullshit, no blow, no ref bump, none of that shit. They actually had Austin Theory beat Finn Balor on his own, which I commend. There are so many times you watch a WWE match for heels, like when Andrade came up to the main roster. Vega, when it was him and Zelina Vega still as a partnership, they had her cheat for him every single fucking match. It's just, it gets kind of annoying when you have, you can cheat every so often, but you shouldn't have to cheat every fucking time every time you turn around. So, Theory stands tall. He wins the championship. Otis, Chad Gable, Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, T-Bar, Commander Aziz, and Apollo Crews all come out and give him the big, even though he's a heel, we get a big babyface type celebration. T-Bar and Aziz put him on their shoulders to parade him around the ring, to mix reactions. The No Chance music hits, and here comes Vince McMahon, who waves him back. They get there. He does a selfie with Vince McMahon. Because it says, "You're the champ." They shake hands. He raises Theory's hand. And that is all of that. I'm hoping that this is a good thing for Austin Theory. Maybe they'll actually do something with the United States Championship. Because let's face it. They took the title off Damian Priest to give it to Finn Balor. Teased all the way up right until a week or two before WrestleMania that these two were going to have a rematch at WrestleMania. It did not happen. They were in the Battle Royal instead on SmackDown. And then Priest went on to join Edge in their little brood, whatever. And now Finn Balor, what's next for Finn Balor? what else is WWE going to do with Finn Balor? They got nothing else that they're going to do with this guy. It would not surprise me if in the next month or so, the next time WWE does budget cuts, Fergal Devitt's gone, Shotzi Blackheart's gone, Xia Li's gone, Aaliyah's gone, Commander Aziz is gone, and Apollo Crews is gone. Those 6 men and women right there. Because that's what else is they going to do with Finn Balor? He put Austin Theory over. The match was okay. The match was fine. Austin Theory won him with no shenanigans, no bullshit. There's not going to be a rematch. There's no reason to have a rematch. And Vince McMahon doesn't see Finn Balor as anything more than enhancement talent. Speaking of people leaving WWE, Kushida is no longer a part of WWE. Some people are saying he quit. Some people saying his contract came up. Either way, it's a loss for WWE. Kushida was fucking fantastic. And honestly, if the guy's able to stay stateside, I would love to see him sign for Ring of Honor. I would say exclusively Ring of Honor. I don't need to see him in All Elite Wrestling. I think that Tony Khan needs to sign a certain amount of talent, let's say like 10 to 20 people who are exclusive to Ring of Honor and not in AEW. That's just me. You can have people who go back and forth, but you should have people who are just in Ring of Honor. And honestly, I think Kushida could be one of those guys. Seth Rollins walking backstage. Kevin Patrick comments about the opponent tonight for Seth Rollins is not interested in sharing who the opponent will be because it didn't have the same advantage of WrestleMania. He needs Cody to feel what he did at WrestleMania. He receives the phone call and he says it's Rhodes' opponent and he walks off to take the call. And then we have the next, 20 minutes or so of nothing but garbage and I don't care. Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes. The man that Seth Rollins picked was Kevin Owens, which honestly, if you think about it, was very fucking predictable. Now, a lot of people were like, Tommaso Ciampa. Where's Tommaso Ciampa? What about him? Maybe he could be the guy. Tommaso Ciampa has been brought up from NXT, and he's been main event every single week. They got no plans for Tommaso Ciampa. He'll be released. He's number 7 on that list of budget cuts that's going to happen because they have nothing for Tommaso Ciampa. Plain and simple. So, a lot of people are posting videos of clips from last week's dark match between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. So, people who went to last week's show saw this match happen, which is fine because that is a dark match. It is what it is. The match was fine. Now, Seth Rollins came down He introduced Kevin Owens. He went to the back. Halfway through the match, he comes back down to watch the match from up close. Now, how do you think this match should have ended? Do you think Kevin Owens needed to be pinned? Did you think they were going to pin Cody Rhodes this early on? No. I don't know who the first man is going to beat Cody Rhodes. Probably Roman Reigns if they actually go for that title match. But they're not going to beat Kevin Owens either. So, Kevin Owens does what Kevin Owens likes to do. He ran away. He doesn't sit... Rollins yells at him and telling him to get his fat ass up. He doesn't sit well with him. He yells back at Rollins, telling him this is your match, not mine. Walks away and is counted out. Cody stands tall and the music hits. Cody is very disappointed by the count out, but he hits the corner for pose. Rollins comes in from behind, shoves him from the top to the floor. He immediately clutches his ankle and goes off the air with the announcers hyping Rhodes versus Rollins 2. At WrestleMania Backlash saying appears to be hurt is Cody Rhodes. Nothing big happened on this show. It would have been cool if, instead of having Tommaso Ciampa show up on Monday Night Raw about 2 weeks ago or so in a backstage segment and doing literally nothing since then, him being the mystery opponent tonight would have been fantastic. But no, they went with Kevin Owens, the obvious safe pick. I don't know what this company is going to be doing. This company just fucking sucks. Everything that they do just fucking sucks. I have not been excited about anything Monday Night Raw has done in a very, very long time. Not surprising. But that is your Monday Night Raw review. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Minds at the France Club. Find me on twitch.tv/the France Club. And find me on Instagram at the France Club. And I will see you guys on Wednesday for more AEW and what's going on with them. Until then, my name is France, and I'll see you guys later.